All right, everyone, welcome back to a brand new week rankings. We have week 5 here. I'm just going to say in advance, this is the hardest rankings I've had to make so far. As we know, this is not a power rankings. This is based on what a team has done during the season. And simply, this has just been a very hard one to make. Last week, most teams that were ranked lost a game and won a game. That's pretty much just how it went. So, out of the only teams last week, here's the rankings from last week. Dallas has dropped out. If we did have a number 11 spot, I would say Dallas is probably 11, but there is no 11. It's top 10 ranks right now. So, and the parity is just so enormous. In the whole league, there's 13 points between first and 32nd, and in the Eastern Conference, 6 points. So, I saw last night Philly was in last place. And with that win, they actually went into a wild card spot in the East. So it's just all over the place. And Florida has the chance to do that in their next game as well. So it's really just so obscure this year how close everything is so far. So it's just a hard one to do, especially if it's not on power rankings. You know, if I'm doing it on power, I can probably rank these teams pretty well. But just based on season performance, it's really tough. Everybody has nearly the same record, nearly the same points, so it's really tough, especially this week. So starting off with number 10, we have Pittsburgh, who dropped 3. Last week they went 1-2 with losses to Winnipeg and Toronto and a win over Minnesota. And I'm not even going to go into much depth this week, just overview. And this coming week they have Washington, New Jersey, and LA. Another tough schedule, but right now they're 8-4-2. So they were 7 last week, and really just a couple losses just moves them down to 10. That's simply what it is. And next we have Colorado at number 9. They went up 1 spot, and they're actually a really tricky team here because they're number 1 in the standings right now. So they have the most points in the entire league, but they also are 9-1-5. So I can't tell quite yet what these losses in overtime or shootout mean, because they still look so good. They just can't get it done. So at this point, I'm just going to put them at 9. They were 10 last week. And this last week, they beat Vegas and Tampa, and then they lose to San Jose in overtime. So I'm really not sure overall what is going on there. So as of now, I'm just going to keep them at 9. Number 8, we have the Detroit Red Wings. They are down 3 spots from last week, down here at number 8 this week. They went 2-2, one of the few teams that played 4 games in this last week. Wins over LA and San Jose, both in shootout, and lost to Anaheim and Vegas. So 2 really good teams that they lost to. Can't really take away anything from them, but again, in a week where everybody's doing such a similar thing and keeping a similar record, right now they're 9-5. Even just going 2-2 will just maybe slightly move you down. So again, just another weird week. At number 7, we have the New Jersey Devils. They're actually the biggest faller of this week, down 6 spots for number 1. But again, really, they didn't do much wrong. They just went 1-2. So I can't take much away. But their losses, they did have a bad loss to San Jose. They beat LA and then lost to Anaheim pretty badly as well. So that California road trip did not do them great. But I really have to move them down to 7. As simple as that. This coming week, they have Montreal, Pittsburgh, and New York. So they have pretty tough games, I'd say, with the Islanders being pretty decent in the last couple weeks. And Montreal and Pittsburgh, of course, all year have been pretty much ranked the whole time. So we'll see what they can do there. But at this point, I had to move them down to 7. At number 6, we have a brand new team to the rankings for the first time this season. We have the Anaheim Ducks. All of a sudden, they're 8-3-1. It seems like they were a 5-loss team earlier in the year. It seems like they were just being a mediocre. And all of a sudden, they're 8-3-1? What? Well, here they are. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule these last week. Florida, Detroit, New Jersey, and Florida again. Win, 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 win. This coming week, they also have 4 games. At Dallas, at Vegas, home versus Winnipeg, and then at Colorado. Absolute gauntlet, and right now they're winning. They're 4-0 out of the 8 games so far in this gauntlet. So we'll see what they can continue to do, but they are easily a top team right now. Power rankings, I would really probably have them top 3 right now. But again, this is just performance, but they have really good wins, and they have some losses to decent teams throughout this year. So Anaheim is number 6, and they might keep climbing. But we'll see what happens this coming week because they could easily just as easily drop out completely. So again, we'll see what happens. Carolina, we have them at number 5. They are 8-4-0. They are 2-1 this last week, but then over the last couple of games, last 5, they're 2-3. And again, really this top 5 is going to be very, very close, almost exactly the same on my ranking. And really it just is going to come down to a lot of head-to-head victories. And right now they have a loss. They have 2 losses to Vegas, but they do have wins over like New Jersey, for instance, and Colorado. So, and Anaheim. I don't know. It's just really where I feel like they belong right now. Still questionable in goaltending, but Kochetkov, he played it for the first time last night and got a shutout in his first game of the season. So that is really something to look forward to. If they can rely on him more than Freddie the rest of the season, they could easily move up. I mean, they've been doing good so far. It's just been a questionable situation they have in goal. So this could be the glue that they need right here. Next at number 4, we have the Vegas Golden Knights. They are 7-2-3. Last week, they went 2-1 with wins over Carolina and a shutout over Detroit, and then their losses to Colorado. So all in all, again, really good. Vegas has some of the best wins of any team right now. Definitely tough schedule. And this coming week, they have Tampa, Anaheim, and Florida, so it does not get any easier, although they do have all 3 home games for this. So definitely they need to win 2 of these games to stay at 4 at least. But yeah, Vegas, they're the number 4 team right now. At number 3, we have the Montreal Canadiens. They are 9-3-1. And I mean, at this point, really they could be 1-3. Again, I said this for 1-5, but really 1-3 is so tight. Montreal keeps going into overtime, so I don't know what to take away from that. Obviously, the goaltending has been pretty brutal with Monty in net. Dobej, of course, has been their key to winning a lot of these games. And the offense is just there. They keep scoring goals. Even last night with the Flyers, they were down 3-0, ended up taking a lead, and they were up 4-3 at one point. And ultimately, they lost that in shootout. Obviously, the Flyers are a really good shootout team. But Montreal's a really good overtime team. They just weren't able to do anything because the Flyers really were just holding out for shootout. Really, Montreal is going to get their big test this week. This is going to determine really the slots. So they play at New Jersey and then home versus Utah. And then they also have a home with LA. We have the Jets at number 2. They are 9-4-0. Again, similar record as the Canadiens. Just some overall weirder wins, I'd say. They're very... It seems like they haven't had much of a tough schedule quite yet, although they're playing still great. And with this lack of depth that they're supposedly having, they're performing well, really. So right now, they're just going to be thrown in that 2. Hellebuck has kind of had a little bit of a slide recently, but still playing good, still above 900. This coming week, they have the rest of their West Coast trip. They have San Jose, Anaheim, and Vancouver. So as of now, they're still going to be number 2. And then number 1, we have the Utah Mammoth. Pretty fun team still. Although this last week, they just went 1-1. And their win was an overtime victory over Buffalo. But still, again, they have the win over Winnipeg. And I don't know, just trying to put it all in order based on just pure performance this season. I just had to put them at 1. They're up 1 from last week. Really, and same thing with Winnipeg and Montreal. They're just up just because New Jersey dropped. And all these teams were just not getting all wins. So Utah just gets stuck at 1 right now. Are they the best team in the league right now? No, I don't think they are. They're just happy to be at number 1 in the rankings so far, I'd say. This rest of the week, they continue their Atlantic road trip at Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. They could, in theory, win all 3 of these games. They will solidify number 1 if they do that. Mark my words, no team will be above them if they win these games this coming week. So, but yeah, anyways, that is the ranks for this week. We have a few ranked matchups actually throughout this week. So let's start off with Thursday. We have number 3 Montreal at number 7 New Jersey. On Saturday, we have a triple header of ranked matchups. We have number 10 Pittsburgh at number 7 New Jersey, number 1 Utah at number 3 Montreal, and then number 6 Anaheim at number 4 Vegas. The next day on Sunday, we have number 2 Winnipeg at number 7 Anaheim, number 6 Anaheim. And then on Tuesday, we have number 6 Anaheim at number 9 Colorado. So Anaheim has 3 ranked matchups this coming week. So this is the real test. Do they actually belong in the rankings? Obviously, they do right now, but we'll see if they continue to do so. So thank you all for watching. I hope you stay tuned for the next video.